In this lesson, we're going to look at different methods of division. One of the methods we're going to look at is partial quotients. We learned a little bit about that last week, and we're going to use it some more this week. Let's look at our problem. There are 4 students at each table in the cafeteria. If there are 128 students sitting at the tables, how many tables are in the cafeteria? Well, we need to take our 128 students and put them into groups of 4, and that will tell us how many tables we have. So, let's look at using partial quotients to solve this problem. If I need to make groups of 4, I know that if I make 10 groups of 4, that means that I've used up 40 of those students. That means that there are 88 students left over that still need to be put into groups of 4. And so far, I've made 10 groups. Now let's make another 10 groups of 4. Again, I'm now taking 40 students away from my 88 students, which leaves me with 48 students that had not been put in groups yet. That gives me another group of 10. It looks like I can make another 10 groups of 4. So if I make another 10 groups of 4, that means I've got 10 groups. I take away 40 of those students from the 48. That leaves me with 8 students that still have not been put into groups of 4. I can't make 10 groups of 4 anymore because I only have 8 students. But I do know that 2 groups of 4 is 8 students. So I can subtract 8 students, which puts every one of my students in a group. And this time, I made 2 groups instead of 10. So now I can add these up and see that I have 10 groups of 4, another 10 groups of 4, another 10 groups of 4, that's 10, 20, 30, and then 2 more groups of 4, which is 32. So I can see that all together I have 32 groups. So I can write here that the quotient of 128 divided by 4 will be 32. Now let's look at another method of division. We're going to look a little more at the distributive property. Now I have an example of work from Anna and from Benny showing how they solved this problem, 128 divided by 4, using the distributive property. Let's look how Anna did it. Anna decomposed her number 128 into hundreds, tens, and ones. 100 plus 20 plus 8 divided by 4. Then she divided the hundreds into 4 equal groups and got 25. And she divided the 20 into 4 equal groups and got 5. And divided 8 into 4 equal groups and got 2. Then she was able to add those values, 25, 5, and 2, to get to 32. Pretty neat. Let's look how Benny did it. Benny decomposed his number 128 divided by 4. He decomposed the dividend into 100 and then 28 divided by 4. So he took his 100 and divided it by 4, took the 28 and divided it by 4. He got 25 when he divided 100 by 4. He got 7 when he divided 28 by 4. And then he added those two values together to get to 32. Well, now it's our turn. We have 128 divided by 4. Let's try it a different way than Anna or Benny did. What if we broke ours into 120 plus 8 divided by 4? If we did that, then we would need to do 120 divided by 4. And we would add that to 8 divided by 4. Now 120 divided by 4. I can kind of look and see that's using patterns like we learned in the last lesson that this would be very similar to 12 divided by 4, but instead of being 12 ones, it's 12 tens divided by 4. I know that 12 divided by 4 is 3, so 120 divided by 4 must be 30. And I know that 8 divided by 4 is 2. So whenever I add those two up, I get a value of 32. Wow! So we can use the distributive property in several different ways to find the quotient of 128 divided by 4. We can also use partial quotients to find the quotient of 128 divided by 4. Now it's your turn to practice using partial quotients and the distributive property to solve division problems.